that time of the year again when we recap the year's best films. Hey everyone, I'm Nidhi Sahani and welcome back to Popcorn Pixels Talk Time. I'm sure you'll be bombarded with such lists everywhere on the internet right now, but this year is a little bit different for me. I was taking a break off of screens for some time, so I missed out on a lot of great films and great content everywhere in 2021. So this video is about the most memorable films I watched this year. So the list is not very exhaustive. Okay, so here goes the list in no particular order. The first one is Sandeep or Pinky Farrar starring by Nidhi Chopra and Arjun Kapoor, who gave great performances. This one got mixed reviews, but I absolutely loved it, and in fact I watched it twice. Directed by Dibakar Banerjee, very subtle and very impactful film. But unfortunately, it kind of got lost because of an extremely delayed release and some negligence and probably some creative differences by YRF that failed to promote the film properly, I think. The second one on my list is Dursham 2. It's a sequel to the 2013 Dursham directed by Jeetu Joseph. If you've seen the first one in whichever language, this one is not to be missed. Definitely holds up as a power-packed sequel. It's bigger, it's better, it's more dramatic, and definitely more thrilling than the first one. Side note, my husband has never watched a Malayalam film before, and I made him watch Dursham 1 and 2. He's not only a fan now, but holds this franchise as a benchmark for all films. Next is The Great Indian Kitchen, another gem from Malayalam cinema directed by Geo Baby. It highlights toxic masculinity, gender stereotypes, and the deep-rooted patriarchy in our society. What's splendid here is that we experience all of this while watching the film through the routine of the wife, played by Nimisha Sajayan, whose life is altered 180 degrees after the wedding. And obviously there's more to uncover as the film progresses. Brilliant storytelling. Fun fact, none of the characters in the film are given any names. They're simply referred to as their relationship to one another. There's a husband and a wife, a father-in-law, a mother-in-law, a cousin, a servant. Perhaps because it's showing a generalized view of every relative, including a husband and a wife, who have their roles and their duties set. No questions are asked, and there's no intention of changing the status quo. The next two, I think, are game changers in Hindi cinema, even though they're vastly different in treatment. Paglet, written and directed by Umesh Bist, is a charming film that will slightly nudge you to question and think about the status quo. The magic of the film lies in its simplicity and moments shared in silence. It's very nicely done. You can catch my detailed review of Paglet on popcornpixel.com. The next game changer? Rush Me Rocket. I loved it not because of its cinematic brilliance, but because it had the guts to present such a unique and unexplored topic of hyperandrogenism and make it palatable for the mainstream audience. Number 5 on my list is a short film called 55 kilometers per second, directed by Aarti Kadav. This little nugget is a reminder of the 2020 lockdown, except it is the end of the world. There's no vaccine to save humankind, there is no light at the end of the tunnel, and there is no tomorrow to look forward to. If that synopsis doesn't excite you to watch the film, I don't know what will. On the same subject is my next film, a film called Don't Look Up. This one just dropped on Netflix, starring some of the most prominent and famous names in Hollywood. While 55 kilometers per second is a drama taking us through the final hours before the comet hits Earth, Don't Look Up is an out-and-out satire of how the world, or shall I say America, will deal in such a situation. It's hilariously blunt and kind of scary to see how media and the government are so one-dimensional in the way they approach any crisis. The news and politics around the world during this pandemic has been a prime example of that. Here's a bonus. Not a 2021 release, but it's a film I recently watched and I really loved it.
The Farewell.
It's such a delightful, heartwarming film about immigrants and first-generation kids who are navigating through traditional values alongside embracing modernism. It's a whole lot of family bonding and dynamic, celebration of life, mindfulness, and the love we all have for our grandparents. I really want to hear from you, and I want to expand on this list. So if there's something that you watched in 2021 and found memorable, please do let me know and share it in the comments so I can watch it too. Because there's just so much out there I can barely keep up. Also, don't forget to follow and subscribe to the channel. Please keep your masks on, stay warm, and stay safe. I'll see you next year.